When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you will see? When you take a look inside a book, it's fun as fun can be. With cats and dogs and birds and frogs, a monkey who says boo, wonderful things, giants and kings, and maybe a Fimble or two. Now what have we here? When you take a look inside a book, who knows what you might see? A story or rhyme, just take the time to read along with me. Here we are. Now, are you all sitting comfortably?
Yes, Roly.
Good. Then I'll begin. Now, this story is all about kisses, and it's called, Kisses. Ben and Charlie were having breakfast when Dad gave Mum a big kiss. It made a squelchy sort of sound. I want to see what a kiss looks like, said Ben. They thought kisses looked very funny. They lined up all their teddies and gave each one a kiss. The teddies liked this game. When they came downstairs, Granny was up. She was staying with them because she hadn't been feeling very well. The twins both gave her a kiss. Oh, are you kissing me better? Said Granny. Ben and Charlie knew that their kisses had helped. They went out into the garden. Ben got into the wheelbarrow. Charlie tried to push it, but whoops! Ben hurt his knee. He started to cry. Dad gave Ben a hug and a kiss and had a look at his knee. We'll have to open a hospital soon, said Granny. Dad put a special plaster on the sore knee. Then Charlie started to cry. He thought it was his fault Ben had hurt his knee. Don't worry, Charlie. Accidents will happen, said Dad. He put a plaster on Charlie's knee as well, just for fun. But next time, leave the wheelbarrow till Mum or I are there. Then Ben and Charlie kissed each other better. And so that Granny didn't feel left out, they kissed Granny again. Oh, I'm going to get better in no time, said Granny. And when Mum came back from work, she had to have kisses from everyone. Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Good. Then I'll begin. The Owl and the Pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar. Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are, what a beautiful pussy you are. Pussy said to the owl, You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring? They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. And there in a wood a piggy wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? Said the piggy. I will. So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lived on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand, on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Good. Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, there was a girl called Rosebud who was very clever at making things. She could make a hat from a handkerchief or a bikini from bubble gum. She was so clever that soon everyone was asking her to make things, and one day the king himself sent for her. "I hear you can make anything," he said. "I have barns full of straw. I want you to make that straw into gold." "Oh," said Rosebud. "Tonight," said the king. Later that day, poor Rosebud sat at her spinning wheel while the farmer's boy carried in armful after armful of straw. "Where'd you want this?" said the farmer's boy. "I don't want it at all," said Rosebud, and she told him what she had to do. "Good luck," said the farmer's boy. Rosebud sat and twiddled with the straw, but she couldn't turn it into gold. Then suddenly a strange little man appeared, as if out of nowhere. "Do you want any work done, lady?" he asked. "Any scissors sharpened? Any straw turned into gold?" "Yes, please," said Rosebud. The little man snapped his fingers, and instantly the straw turned into glistening strands of gold. "How can I thank you?" asked Rosebud. "I'll be back," said the strange little man. The king was so pleased he told Rosebud to make some more gold the next evening. The farmer's boy brought her some more straw. "Cheer up," he said, for Rosebud was even sadder than before. But later that evening, the little man appeared and turned the straw into gold all over again. "Please let me thank you," said Rosebud. The little man laughed. "Ha ha! You can guess my name instead." Rosebud thought this would be easy. She started with all the names she knew, like Michael, John, Edward. It wasn't any of those. She started making names up. Bobble Dibber, Tin Tree, Saucy Sausage. "Wrong!" shouted the little man. "I'll give you until dawn, or all this gold will get turned back into straw." But the farmer's boy had been watching. He followed the little man to a hole in a tree where he lived, and he listened to him singing in his kitchen as he made himself some cocoa. "Ha, ha, ha, he, she'll never guess the name for me, Rumpelstiltskin." And the little man fell about laughing. When he went back at dawn, Rosebud wasn't looking sad any more. "Is it Attila?" she asked. "No." "Is it Zebedee?"
No.
"Then is it Rumpelstiltskin?" And the strange little man jumped up with a cry and vanished in a puff of dust. The farmer's boy rushed out and gave Rosebud a hug. And when the king asked her to be his wife, she said, "No, thank you," and she married the farmer's boy instead. Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
Good. Then I'll begin.
My story.
No, it's my story.
Mine?
Mine?
Now, hold on, Roly Mo. We're going to share this story. I'll tell you what we're going to do. You go. I'm going to read you the first half of the story.
Oh, munchy crunchy.
And me go. I'm going to read you the second half of the story.
Ah, scrumptious!
You go. Your turn first. And now I'll begin. Ben and Charlie are twins. They have exactly the same birthday, and they look very alike. They even like doing the same sorts of things. One day, Ben asked, "Mum, will Charlie and I always be twins?" Mum thought for a little while, and then she said, "There are some things that always go together. A sheep with baa, a cow with moo, a dog with woof, the sky with blue," shouted Ben. "That's right," said Mum. "And here are some more things that go together. A hat with a head, a shoe with a foot, a key with a lock, pages with a bird and its nest, pants and a vest," shouted Charlie.
Think of some more, Mum.
Said Ben, so Mum did. A fork and a spoon, the stars and the moon, a paper and pen, Charlie and Ben, shouted the twins. Very good, said Mum, and I bet you two can think of some more things.
There's a toothpaste and toothbrush.
Said Charlie.
Yes, and a bucket and spade.
Said Ben. But the two things that go together best, said Mum, are my two boys, Charlie and Ben. This story is called Miles of Smiles. One day, Molly woke up in a bad mood. She looked outside. It was grey and cloudy. Said Molly. Mum made a smiley face out of jam on Molly's porridge. Molly didn't like porridge today. You always like porridge, said Mum. Said Molly. Molly went into the living room to be on her own, but Dad came in to cheer her up. He tried to stand on his head and fell over. He leapfrogged over the coffee table. Molly still didn't smile. Oh, well, said Dad, and went out again. Good, thought Molly. It was Marinda and her dad. Marinda's in a bad mood, said her dad. Now I feel in a bad mood as well. Let's have a competition, said Molly's mum. Who can do the grumpiest face? So everyone tried to look really grumpy. The dads were very good at looking grumpy. Molly's mouth started to turn up a little bit. Marinda was staring at Molly's dad. She thought he looked very funny. Then Marinda started to smile. No, said Molly's mum, no smiling. This is a grumpy competition. But soon everyone was smiling because they all looked so funny. OK, now it's a smiling competition, said Molly's mum. Molly and Marinda won 2 stickers because they had the biggest smiles. And every time Molly felt grumpy, she thought of her dad's funny face and she smiled again. This story is called Just Like Me. Ben and Charlie were twins, and they looked exactly like each other. One morning, they both decided to wear red T-shirts.
Now we look even more like each other,
They said. At breakfast, they ate the same cereal, and they made the same munching noise at the same time. Crunch, crunch, munch, munch. I know what you're doing, said Mum. You're copying each other. But is Ben copying Charlie, or is Charlie copying Ben? Charlie did rabbit hops round the kitchen, and so did Ben. They marched up and down the garden together, and sang the same tune. They decided to do some drawing together. But Charlie wanted to do a house, and Ben wanted to do the seaside. And in the end, it didn't really look like anything. They tried to play the piano together, but Charlie couldn't hear his tune because Ben was playing at the loud end and Charlie was playing at the tinkly end. Their tunes got all mixed up into a strange noise. At tea time, Mum gave them both sausage and mashed potatoes. I don't like sausages, said Ben. I don't like mash, said Charlie. Oh, said Mum. I thought you were being exactly the same today.
I think I want to be me again now,
said Charlie.
Me too,
said Ben.
I want to be me too.
Oh, good, said Mum, because I like you both exactly as you are, Ben and Charlie. Are you all sitting comfortably?
Yes!
Good. Then I'll begin. The princess didn't have many friends to play with, and so she had lots of time to practice her juggling, and she was very good at it. In fact, the princess was so good at juggling that she wanted to be the best juggler in the whole kingdom. One day, she was juggling her golden balls. She juggled 1, then 2, then 3, 4, and 5 balls. Suddenly, splosh! One of the balls fell into the pond.
Oh, what am I going to do?
She said.
Don't worry.
Said a voice. The princess looked round and saw a little frog.
I will swim down and get it for you.
He said.
But if I do, then every day you must come down to the pond and juggle for me.
You are completely crackers, said the princess. But she agreed to do as he asked. So the frog swam down into the pond and fetched the ball. And, true to her word, every day the princess came to the pond and juggled her balls, and the frog laughed and clapped. One day, the king held a juggling competition at the palace. The princess was so busy juggling and showing off and winning prizes that she forgot her promise to the little frog. The frog got fed up with waiting, so he hopped all the way to the palace to find her. The princess was juggling 10 bananas when in hopped the frog. She was so surprised that the bananas all fell down, splat. The king was cross that the princess had not kept her promise, and so he took away the golden balls and said, "No more juggling." The frog didn't like to see the princess unhappy, so he said to the king,
I am the world-famous pie-spinning frog. If I show you my pie-spinning trick, will you give the golden balls back to the princess?
"Bring some pies," said the king, who did so love to see a new trick. "Let the pie spinning begin." So the frog spun a blackberry pie on his foot, a strawberry pie on his head, and an apple pie in each hand. "Magnificent," said the king, and he gave the princess back her balls. The princess was so pleased that she kissed the frog. And the frog turned into a handsome prince. From that day on, the princess and the frog prince were best friends. Every day they juggled and span lily leaves and lived happily ever after.